Dressing in professional attire can become somewhat of a problem if you carry a concealed firearm. Typically, business clothes are a lighter weight and snugger fitting, and that presents some issues or challenges for those of us who carry a concealed firearm. Many of you are aware of the company 511, which makes a line of tactical products. It started out with clothing, and then it moved into, knives and backpacks and hats and watches and everything else. But you may not be aware that 511 makes a set of dress clothing. So the pants I'm wearing right now are 511 dress uniform pants, and they're certainly business appropriate, but they have the advantage of being a little bit firmer or a little bit stiffer. They're very comfortable, and they have unrestricted motion. That's not a problem, but the fabric has enough structure to it that having stuff in your pocket isn't immediately obvious. So, in this pocket I have a revolver, in this pocket I have a spare magazine and some keys, and they're not totally obvious because I'm wearing thin, lightweight dress pants. Another thing when you're carrying a firearm, you often have other gear that you carry with you, flashlights and spare ammunition, and often that can be a problem as to where am I going to carry that. Well, in these pants, 511 has very cleverly hidden a pocket in the cargo pocket area. So it's big enough to fit my wallet, and then over here, and they've really done a great job of hiding that seam. You can see the zipper pull, and that's it. And then over here, I have my cell phone. So they are a nice blend of cotton and nylon. I live in the tropics where it's quite warm, and these are very comfortable in those kind of conditions. Give me a chance to change out of them, and I'll show you some of the other really nice features of these pants. Okay, let's take a little closer look at these 511 dress utility pants, so you can see some of the details that make them really nice. I showed you the hidden cargo pocket, and so here's the outside seam of the leg, and you can see it looks like any other seam, other than, if you look closely, you can see the zipper pull, which opens the pocket up. And so you do have a small cargo pocket. It goes to there, so it's about that big. So, not as large as a typical cargo pocket, but it does give you a little bit of extra carrying capacity and still look, like you're ready for business. The rear pocket doesn't have one of those flaps which always get sat on wrong and pressed and look sloppy. And what they've done is they've put a button and a loop on there so that it does a couple of things. One, it separates the pockets so that if you, I carry my knife in the back, and that keeps it from sliding around the back. If you were carrying a baton, that would do the same thing. It would keep it in one area rather than flopping around. The other thing this button does is it prevents the pocket from gaping if there's too much weight on it. The material is 55% polyester and 65% polyester and 35% cotton, and that's a great blend between being cool and comfortable in warmer environments, yet still retaining crisp, good looks. The waistband is amazing on these. You can see it's a very sturdy, rigid thing, and that's good if you're carrying any weight on your belt, and it helps distribute that. You know, if you've ever had a belt loaded down with gear and on your waist for several hours, you know how uncomfortable that can get. Well, this helps distribute that. Additionally, this is rubberized, and I'm sure you've had times when you're dressed with your shirt tucked in, and you bend over, you do something active, and your shirt gets untucked. This helps keep the shirt tucked in neatly, and it goes all the way around. Another thing they've done is they've put in a hidden belt expander or waistband expander. So you can see that these will adjust quite a bit. So if you had and it's on both sides. So once again, if you're being a little active, you need a little bit of extra give in the waistline. If you ate a little bit too much at lunch, this allows some flexibility. Speaking of flexibility, in the crotch area, they've put in a gusset. So we have this triangular piece through here, which allows much greater flexibility and comfort. So you're not going to get all bound up down there. And there's nothing worse than being uncomfortable and unable to adjust yourself because of the social situation you're in. And as my wife says, if you're tugging on your clothes, that means they don't fit properly. So you need to re-examine your outfit. So all in all, if you are looking for an alternative to dress pants that are a little bit more rugged but still appropriate for business wear, I highly recommend these 511s. Another thing with the belt loops I wanted to mention is you can see they're pretty large. This is a 1.5-inch belt, and you can see there's plenty of room. These will actually handle a 2-inch belt. Many duty belts are 2 inches, so this will handle 1.5 fine up to 1 3/4, 2 inches. So if you have a heavier or thicker belt, these pants will accommodate that. So good gear, recommended. I'm Peter Burlingame of the Self-Defense Initiative. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.